Hey guys, Tim here with TCG Grading, welcoming you back to the Pokemon community. In today's video, we have our top 100 Pokemon cards of 2021, numbers 49 through 25. This is the list I compiled of the top investable cards, or the cards that are undervalued in my opinion. This is not the best cards of 2021, because that would just be the 10 most valuable cards from each set that released. Let's go ahead and get into this. I gave each card a total score out of 100. The scores consist of the current value of the card, the popularity of the card, the artwork score, and my personal opinion on the outlook of the card. Each subcategory has a possibility of 25 points, bringing the total up to 100. Let's go ahead and get into it. We ended last video with the Psychic Trainer Avery. Really good card. It's actually become a very playable card, sitting at $2.50. Let's go into number 49, the first card on our list is going to be the full art Melanie trainer card from Chilling Reign. This card is currently sitting at $15. I think this is one of the best female trainer cards from Chilling Reign, and as we've talked about in the previous two videos, Chilling Reign has a ton of the female trainer cards, and the fact that Chilling Reign as a booster box is selling for under $80 right now is absolutely crazy. I gave a total value score of this of 21 out of 25. $15 for one single full art card is a little bit high compared to some of the other cards. For instance, the Avery card we just talked about, that's $2.50. You could get 7 of those versus this one Melanie, but I think there's a lot more upside with the female trainer cards, especially this full art Melanie card, that the $15 price could end up being a steal in the next 12 to 24 months. If there were to be a buyout on this card, I could see this card easily going upwards of $25 to $30 really quickly. Overall artwork score, 22 out of 25. The popularity of this card's pretty high. This is actually a very playable card. A lot of people use this card to put discarded water energies onto their V Pokemon, such as Suicune. The Ice Rider Calyrex decks also use this. Even the Blissey V decks use it. And then it allows you to draw 3 cards. Just a really good card. And overall score of 89 out of 90 for the first card on our list today. Let's go into number 48. Number 48 on our list is the Alt Art Galarian Rapidash V card. Another card from Chilling Reign. You know, you guys are kind of seeing a theme here, I think. I think Chilling Reign as a whole is very undervalued. And the fact that a booster box is only $79.99, it's just crazy to me. Let's go ahead and talk about this card. The Galarian Rapidash V is sitting at $20. One of the more expensive Alt Arts on this list. That's not one of the major legendary, very popular Pokemon. Galarian Rapidash and Galarian Ponyta have their own, niche market. A lot of the My Little Pony fans and things like that really like to collect these type of cards. They're very popular with the younger generation. My youngest daughter absolutely loves the Galarian Rapidash and Ponyta line. Overall value of 20 to 25. It's not the best value in my opinion, but I could see this card going up consistently over time. And it would be a pretty safe way to park $20 versus buying a bunch of really inexpensive cards and hoping that they grow at a rate that will actually offset the fees and shipping after you sell them. Artwork score on this, 24 to 25. This is one of the best looking alt arts from Chilling Reign and really from Sword and Shield in general. It's just a really good looking card. Number 168 out of 198. Chilling Reign is a big set. Really big set. I have an overall very positive and high outlook on this card, giving it a total score of 89 out of 100. Going into number 47, we have the amazing rare Y Veltol. This is out of Shining Fates. So in Shining Fates, in the reverse holo slot, you can get a shiny vault card, you can get an amazing rare card, and you can also get the reverse holographic cards. The fact that these reverse holographic slot cards are so inexpensive just absolutely blows my mind. I'm not sure why. It is what it is, I guess. I mean, Shining Fates is an overall smaller set, but with the Shiny Vault included, it's over 200 cards. This card is currently sitting at 70 cents, and the artwork on this is amazing. The Amazing Rares are one of my biggest buys of the entire year in general. This one's sitting under $1, giving it a value score of 24 to 25. Artwork is amazing. The overall pattern on the Amazing Rares is just really cool. In person, these look so much better than this picture we have up on the screen right now. Just the overall holo pattern is great. They do have one for each energy type currently. They could be done making Amazing Rares. And even though just about every one of these that was ever pulled was sent in for grading, I don't see the price of these sitting at 70 cents forever, especially the higher quality ones, the ones that are actually preserved well. I could see these being, you know, a $4 to $5 card in the next few years, and there's just not a lot of downside risk at a 70-cent buy-in. You could resell these for $1 all day, every day, just about on eBay, even sometimes a little bit more. If you wanted to actually just, you know, buy them and resell them right now, you can make a little bit of money, which is crazy. Overall popularity of this card isn't the highest. People really do chase that high-end, you know, oh my gosh, I just made a ton of money type of deal, you know, which doesn't normally include Veltols and does not include most of the amazing rares. People who chase, you know, the big stonks, you know, rocket ships to the moon emoji type of, you know, returns, they miss out on these just very solid overall good investments that end up performing better in the long run than a Charizard card you could buy for $100 now and sell for $110 in a few years. Let's go into the next card, number 46 on our list. We have the Galaxian V-Max. This is an alt art card from Evolving Skies. This is my personal favorite card from Evolving Skies, I do believe. Yeah, I would say it's my personal favorite card. I really like this artwork. The Pikachu right there. You have the Azure Ramol. You got the Phoebus in the background, looking like he's having a really hard time. You got Eevee right there. Then the Glacion V-Max. It's just a really good looking card. $60 price tag on this. It's come way down from its release day price. I think this is kind of the bottom end of the price range that you'll ever see this card at. Really good deal in my opinion. The artwork, 25 out of 25, one of the best artworks of the year. Popularity of Glaceon, like all other evolutions, is really high. This one gets a little bit of a bump because it also has Eevee and it also has Pikachu in the same card. Overall score, 89 out of 90. Really safe card to buy into right now. I do believe that this card will not go below $50 as the downside, you know, risk. Look at, if you guys can see the balloons back there, which is pretty cool. It's just a cool card, really cool card. One of my favorites of the year. Let's go into the next card. We have the Jolteon V-Max. This is the Sword and Shield promo from the Evolution Premium Collection boxes. These came out on December the 3rd, and they were actually pushed back a little bit, which has made these really hard to get. The only ones that have really come out are the ones that the Pokemon Center sold. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a hold of any of these from the Pokemon Center. They sold out before I could buy any. But this card is amazing. Sitting at $39 though, I think the price on it's going to come way down, 35-40%. I could see this card sitting around $20 to $25 sometime in the end of January, February time, whenever the rest of these boxes actually come out, whenever they start hitting the big box stores. And I just don't see the promo cards holding up at that $39 price. The box costs $39.99, and one promo costing basically the same amount as the box. That just opens up an entire avenue of income by breaking the boxes down, selling the packs, selling the promos, selling the codes, selling everything in the box separately. You can make a lot of money breaking these boxes down right now. And I think that's what's going to happen with a lot of these. If I can get these sealed as a sealed box, I think these are a good long-term hold, because I think that so many of them are going to be broken down trying to chase that profit from the promo cards and the packs. Beautiful card, one of the best cards of the year. Let's go into number 44. We have the Vaporeon V Max. As I said before, I don't have any of these boxes. That's why you see all these random bad photos. These are just the ones that I could find. Vaporeon V Max, this one, I believe it just looks better than the Jolteon V Max. It has all of the same scores, basically the same price, but I think that this card looks better. I would buy this card before I would buy the Jolteon V Max. Sitting at $38.03. I could see this coming down to the $20 mark as well. Sometime end of January, beginning of February, once all these really start to hit the market. Artwork score, popularity score, 25s. Outlook score, 24. Even though I do believe the price is going to come way down on these, it's just crazy that these promos are so valuable inside of this $39.99 box. I can't imagine how these sealed products are going to appreciate over time, but I do believe that these singles will get back up to and exceed these high prices that are currently on like TCG Player and eBay, with it being a new release product. Let's go on to number 43. We have the amazing rare Reshiram. This card is also from Shining Fates. This card is sitting at 50 cents. This is exactly the same scenario that I just talked about with the Veltol, but the Reshiram card is overall a more popular Pokemon, and it's just a cooler Pokemon in general. Reshiram, you know, Fire Dragon type. Just really, really cool. This is not a playable card. Some of the amazing rares are actually playable. This one is not one of those. It takes 3 different energies to do 270 damage, and it also does 60 damage to itself with only 120 health. You could see how that wouldn't work out too well. Sitting at 50 cents though, it's an amazing value. 25 out of 25 on the value score. The overall outlook on this card is pretty low, 19 out of 25. The artwork is amazing. These cards just look so good in person. Whenever I was making this list, I actually went through and it made me want to buy a whole bunch of these cards, especially the ones that were sitting at like $1 or under $1. And then a few of the alt arts that I felt like were super undervalued. And this was one of those cards that I really bought a lot of. And with so many Chilling Reign cards on this list, I actually went back and just bought a ton of Chilling Reign booster boxes. I bought like 10 cases of Chilling Reign booster boxes at 79 or below. That's basically what I've been buying all this month is Chilling Reign booster boxes and a lot of these single cards. Reshiram being one of them. I think I spent like $50 total. Got 100 copies of this. Actually got more than 100 copies of this. I got some of these below that 50-cent price. I know that this video is going to be coming out 3 or 4 days after I actually film it, and you have to keep in mind that prices do change every day, and you may not be able to find these at 50 cents when this video comes out. They could have gone up or they could have gone down. Just like with the rest of these cards, there's a good chance that a lot of these have fluctuated in price in the last 3 or 4 days. Going into the next card, we have the McDonald's Hollow Mudkip. This card is currently sitting at $2. This is a really beautiful card. It came in the McDonald's Happy Meal packs. It's just a cool card. Like, and it's sitting at $2. This is one of the better holographic cards you can pull. You get the 25 total cards inside of the set. And Mudkip, you know, the Johto and Kanto, even the Hoenn starters are definitely the most popular of the bunch. And this one's sitting at $2. Just a really good price in my opinion. Artwork is amazing. Mudkip is super popular. Mudkip is my favorite starter from this generation. Just really cool. There's not a lot of downside risk at $2. The current price of these McDonald's packs is sitting right around $10. And you can find McDonald's packs for less than that $10. But if you find a loose McDonald's pack, there's about a 99% chance that they took a flashlight and they actually tried to figure out what the holographic card was on the inside of the pack. And they took all of the really good packs, the ones with Pikachu, Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Mudkip. All the really popular ones are not going to make it into those lower price listings because they have been searched. Not saying that they're all searched, but there's just a really good chance that they have been. So if you want to buy one that has not been opened, it came in like a little envelope, and if you can get the sealed envelope, sure, those can still be tampered with, but it's less likely. Going into number 41 on our list, we actually have another one of the McDonald's holographic cards. This is the reason why people search those packs, because this holographic Squirtle card is actually sitting at $6 right now. Between $6 and $8 actually. The lowest I found was $6, but a lot of them were higher. This is a really good looking card. Number 17 out of 25 on the list. This was, a really fun set to build. I don't know if you guys were going through McDonald's with the kiddos buying Happy Meals like I was, but we had so much fun building this set. We all, pitched in, we all made one master set, and it was a lot of fun. And I think that in the long term, these are going to be very nostalgic for people. And McDonald's cards usually do really well. There's just multiple markets that these appeal to. They appeal to the McDonald's market, where there's a lot of people who collect, merchandise from McDonald's. Pokemon market, just two really big markets. On top of the fact that this is an original Kanto starter, it's just a really good, safe card to pick up. The graded copies of these for, PSA 10 or CGC 9.5 and above sell for a very high premium because the McDonald's print runs just weren't very good. A lot of hollow bleeding, a lot of the corners were very bad. So if you can get one of these that's grade worthy, it might be worth your time to do it. Going into the next card, we have another McDonald's promo card. Got the same scores as the Squirtle. Charmander is more popular than Squirtle, but I believe the Squirtle card looks better. That's why they ended up being the same score, 90 out of 100 on my list. Same price, $6. I would personally probably buy the Squirtle over the Charmander. Charmander does have a bigger market, bigger fan base because of Charizard. But I personally would take the Squirtle over it. But I think most people would rather have the Charmander. That's why it came up higher on this list. You have to take into consideration what the actual market likes, not just what you like. It's definitely a bonus whenever you like what you're collecting or what you're investing in, but sometimes you gotta have to make the call. In the case of these, like these two cards, I personally like the Squirtle more, but I'm gonna buy the Charmander to hold on to long term just because it has more of a market. Let's go into the next card here. We got number 39. Number 39 on our list is the Ditto V Shining Fates Full Art. This card is sitting at $2. I think this might be in my top 3 favorite full art shiny cards from Shining Fates. It might even be my favorite Shining Fates shiny card. It's just so cool. Shiny Ditto. Look at it. It's awesome. It's cute. He's happy. And it's only $2. Value score of 24 to 25. I just don't see this Ditto V shiny card sitting at $2 5 years from now. I could see this being like a $9 to $10 card. There's not a lot of high-end single card value with the amount of products being printed right now. If the hobby continues to grow like it has been, and there's just so many people who are in the hobby, this could be one of the cards that really catches on and, you know, surpasses that. But if the hobby retraces like it has been because of the bear market, a lot of people are leaving because they can't make free money, this could be one of those cards that just stalls out at $2 for a while. But in the long term, I could see this rising back up towards the $7 to $9 price tag. And it's just really cool. If you have a stack of these in your collection, you're not going to be sad to have these, especially even if they stay at $2. I don't see them ever going any lower than that. Bulk price, you know, shiny hollow card buyers are going to pick these up off of you if it comes to that. Downside risk, very, very low. Upside risk is still pretty high. Really cool card. One of my favorites. I'm kind of biased on this card because it is one of my favorite cards. Still a very, very solid pickup at $2. I think that price was off of TCG Player. Sometimes you can find it for less. Sometimes they're a little bit more, but right around in that ballpark of $2. This is another card from Shining Fates. Another full art shiny card. This is actually a VMAX full art shiny with the Centiskorch. For whatever reason, this Centiskorch card just reminds me of Shinron from Dragon Ball Z. Just the way that, you know, it's flowing all the way back there, just like Shinron would. Value score, 24 out of 25. $2 VMAX cards. You can sell these back to bulk sellers for $2. There's a lot of people out there that buy VMAX cards for $2 a piece. And this is what this card can be picked up for, is basically bulk price. Artwork is really, really good. I think this is one of the better looking VMAX cards in Shining Fates. Overall popularity of Centiskorch isn't super high, but it is a very popular newer generation Pokemon. Outlook on this, there's just no downside. You know, the outlook is actually pretty low. That should be a 25 out of 25. It really should. Buying VMAX cards at bulk price with this type of artwork and the Shining Fates, Shiny Vault subset, that really should be a 25 out of 25 because there's just no risk. There's zero risk. And the upside of this, you know, if it went up to $8 to $10, you know, that's a healthy profit margin. And it could go up even higher. Who's to say that Centiskorch doesn't catch on with the newer generation and, you know, in 10 years, this is everybody's favorite Pokemon. More than likely, that'll be Greninja, but you never know. It could be something like Centiskorch as well. Going into number 37, we have the Sylveon V Alt Art. This is one of the coolest cards from Evolving Skies. The main reason why Evolving Skies booster boxes are holding strong at over $100 a box while the rest of the market is coming down is because it has so many Evolution Alt Arts that just look so good. Sylveon here eating all the cupcakes. Really, really good looking card. A lot of people really, really like this card. It's sitting at $46 right now. And I think that this actually could come down a little bit more. If it came down to around $38, I wouldn't be surprised. But much lower than that, I just don't see it. You know, if it came down to that price, the downside risk would be like, what, 15%? The upside on this is you could end up holding on to this card and it could go upwards of $70 to $80 fairly easily. If you get, you know, a graded PSA 10 copy, it goes, you know, the margins just keep going up and up and up. Artwork score, 25 out of 25. Popularity, 24 to 25. Evolutions, you know, alt arts, they just look so good. Overall outlook is amazing. Evolutions are always going to be collectible because of just the high demand and the high overall, you know, popularity of them. This is a very, very safe card to pick up. I personally have 3 copies of this. I pulled one and I bought 2. I actually bought mine at like $50 and they've come down a little bit, but I am not worried about it whatsoever. Going into number 36, we have the OG Chase card, Alt Art Chase card from Battle Styles. The Tyranitar V Alt Art. Really, really cool card. Passed out from eating too much food. This is a very, very cool card. I can't believe this card's sitting at $65, but there's just not a lot of reasons for Battle Styles cards to have a really high premium. Booster boxes of Battle Styles are sitting at $78 right now. I don't know why, but it's the cheapest Sword and Shield booster box on the market. Rebel Clash is a much worse set. Darkness Ablaze is a much worse set. I honestly think that Vivid Voltage, overall, even though it has the Amazing Rares and the Pikachus in it, Battle Styles has a better overall collection of cards. Vivid Voltage is a much higher top tier, but I think the overall collection of Battle Styles cards is just really, really cool. You know, Gold Houndoom, Altart Tyranitar, Altart Shifus that you could play with. But this card, especially sitting at $65, I actually think that's a pretty good value. I think this card is going to stay at that $65 to $70 price tag for a few years until the Battle Styles booster boxes start to actually gain some momentum. Once the booster box prices start to go up, the chase cards on the inside tend to rise with it. And I think that this Tyranitar V is 100% the chase card from Battle Styles. Top 2 at the very minimum. Artwork score 24 to 25. I love this card. Artwork is amazing. Popularity is really, really cool. When this card came out, people were going crazy over it. It's just so cool. Overall outlook is good. The #1 card from any set always has a really, really high outlook. Total score 90 out of 100. Going into number 35, we have the Flareon V card. This is actually the Japanese version, but the English version is exactly the same artwork, just in English. This is another one of those promo cards that is sitting in those $39.99 boxes that's selling for basically the price of the box. $34 for a Flareon V promo card right now. I think the VMAX was sitting like at $39 or something like that, if I remember right. So basically you're doubling your money on just the promo cards, and you get the packs for free. That's going to cause so much retail arbitrage where people are going to be breaking these boxes down to flip to singles that I do believe this Flareon V could come downwards of $18 to $22 by the end of January, beginning of February, similar to the other cards we already talked about. Overall value is very, very low on this, but the total artwork score, popularity scores, and the outlook score are basically perfect. This is an amazing card, one of the best looking Flareon cards in existence, and it's just one of the best looking Altarts in general. You know, 25 out of 25 artwork, 25 out of 25 popularity. Flareon's very, very popular, being an evolution, and then this card just looking so good just adds to that. I think that these will do very, very well long term, but not at the $34 price tag. That's why it came in at 35 on the list, because of this current value. It's just, it brought it way, way down. Going into number 34 on our list, we have the Charmander Battle Styles Blister promo card. This card is beautiful. If you've seen the holo pattern on this, it is so good to look at. Charmander is just very, very popular because of Charizard. Obviously, that whole evolution line has a lot of fans. This is one of the best Charmander artworks I can ever remember seeing. Let me know down in the comments, is there honestly a better artwork for Charmander than this card right here? It came in the Battle Styles blister packs. So these were sitting at like $2 for the longest time. People were buying the blister packs, taking the Charmanders out, selling the Charmanders, and selling the packs on the inside, making a couple dollars off of each blister pack they found. So many people did that it just completely tanked the promo price down to 20 cents. You can pick these cards up for $0.25. These cards, you know, they have the swirls on them. They have that really beautiful holo pattern, really good artwork. I don't know why these cards are sitting at 20 cents, but whenever I went to TCG Player and looked these up, there they were for 20 cents. I think one person had like 25 of them for 20 cents. It was crazy. Overall value score 24 to 25. I could see this card easily retracing back up to that $2 to $3 price tag given enough time. It's so cool. Popularity is really, really good. Artwork is very high because really I can't think of a single Charmander card that's better than this one. Maybe that 2002 McDonald's promo that it was only in Japanese. That one's pretty cool, but I think this one's probably the best one that I can remember ever. Total outlook of this card's very, very high. There's no way that this card's going to stay at 20 cents forever, but you also have to take in consideration the price on these cards have to rise enough for it to be worth selling. You have to be able to cover shipping costs, and you have to be able to cover fees on top of the initial buy-in price of 20 cents. So if you end up keeping these cards and they rise up to $1, you're just going to be breaking even. If they rise up to $1.50, you're going to make like 25 to 30 cents. If they rise up to $2, you're going to make you know, around 75 cents to $1 after shipping if you use plain white envelope, depending on shipping prices and fees and everything. So you have to take that into consideration with these lower value cards. Yes, you could get a 500% return technically on your initial cost, but if it doesn't meet or exceed the amount of fees and shipping, then you're wasting your time. I think this card is so cool that even if I broke even on it, I would be glad to have it. And that's why it's so high on this list. I think there's a lot of upside with this card and basically no downside. Going into number 33, we have the Marny Sword and Shield promo 120. This came out of the Marny Premium Tournament Collection. This along with the full art card, made this product very, very sought after. This one's currently sitting at $4. I think that that's actually pretty low. The price on the Premium Collection is right around $80 the last time I checked. Don't quote me on that. I could definitely be wrong. It's been like a month since I actually looked up the price of the sealed product. But the last time I checked, there were 7 packs on the inside. This $4 promo card, the full art, I think was sitting right around $20 to $25. So the overall value of the product is really, really good, which could end up leading people to opening more to try and flip the stuff on the inside for a profit. I think that a lot of these have been opened, a lot of these have been graded, and I think that the downside is $4 on this card. Marny's just so popular. This is a very good looking promo card. I think that the mass opening of this has already occurred, and what's out there is going to be out there until people decide to open up one here or one there, and that's not going to really shift the market too much. Total artwork score 24 to 25, popularity 24 to 25. Marny's probably one of the most popular female trainer cards in the whole game. Outlook on this is 22 out of 25. I could see this card stalling at $4 for 2-3 years. I really could. But in the long term, I see this being a big, big target for people who do buyouts, for people who are trying to artificially manipulate the market, or just the demand becomes so high and the overall quantity of these is so low that it's just going to cause the price to balloon given enough time. There's just so many factors that could affect this card that I'm not really too worried about it increasing in price given enough time. And it's just a cool card. You know, the floor of $4, I think it's not going to go below that. I wouldn't be surprised in the last 3 or 4 days if this has actually come up a little bit. Let me know down in the comments. Going into number 32, we have the Zashian Level X. This comes from the Premium Pin Collection. This is actually one of my favorite promo cards of the entire year. Zashian Level X is, I think, is going to be a very, very sought after card by the younger generation. I know I talk about that a lot, but it's very, very important that you consider who you're going to be selling cards to in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, depending on how long you're holding stuff. You know, who is going to be buying stuff? You know, who's going to be buying this Zashian card? Kids that are between the ages of 7 and 10 right now are growing up playing these Sword and Shield games. And this is going to be one of their favorite Pokemon for nostalgic reasons because it's the mascot of the entire generation. I just think it has a lot of upside potential. It's sitting at 90 cents right now. The premium collection box that this actually comes in sells well above the MSRP or retail price of $19.99 is the retail price. I think these are selling right now on eBay for over $30. And they just came out. So imagine in 1 or 2 years how much these sealed boxes are going to be worth. And I think that the promo on the inside is going to somewhat coincide with the increase in price, with it being the 25th anniversary product. The promo on the inside is going to rise up just like the sealed product will, because it's just going to be more and more difficult to actually get this card out of the product if people don't want to open it up. 90 cents, very, very low risk. Very, very good artwork. These Level X Pokemon cards are just beautiful. Total score 90 out of 100. Let's go into the next card here. The next card, we have the Vaporeon V. This is another one of the Sword and Shield promo cards from the premium collection boxes. This one's actually at a more realistic price already. Price on this one's sitting right around $20 to $22. I put the higher price on there because I do believe that's more realistic. Normally, you have to pay a little bit of a premium anytime you want to buy something. Someone's always trying to make money. You have to realize that anytime you go on eBay or TCG Player, somebody's always trying to make money off of what they're selling. They're not going to break even. They don't want to lose money. They always want to make a profit. So keep that in mind when you're buying stuff. This one came in at an overall score of 91 out of 100. Artwork and popularity 25s. Outlook 23. All EV cards, evolution cards end up rising up in price eventually, right? And I think all alt-art cards from the Sword and Shield era are going to do very, very well. They could end up being the only cards that hold any sort of realistic value, period. If you want the safest type of cards to buy alt-art cards. Going into number 30, we have the Rillaboom V from Shining Fates. This card is $1. Basically, bulk price. You could buy these cards and sell them to bulk price sellers. The bulk price for V cards was $1.25 for the longest time. It's actually come down to $1, and some people have actually lowered their buy list price on V cards down to 50 cents. So the downside risk is if everybody moved this card to 50 cents, then you would lose half your money on a $1 card, which isn't too terrible of a downside risk. Upside is, I think this card could rise up over, $7 or so, given enough time. I think it would take about 2 to 3 years for that to happen. Rillaboom is just a very, very popular starter Pokemon. I'm very, very bullish on Rillaboom in general. Sitting at $1, just there's a lot more upside than there is downside to this card, and I just really like it. It's such a good looking card in person. Shiny Vault cards, I don't know why they're so inexpensive. It doesn't make any sense. They're so hard to pull. They look so good. Shiny Pokemon are by far the most popular versions. Overall outlook, 25 out of 25. It's one of the higher outlook scores I've given any card because I just don't see this card sitting at $1 indefinitely. And I think you would be kind of hard pressed to find a bunch of these at that price. The ones that I found for $1 on TCG Player, I actually ended up buying. So I would not be surprised if this is one of those cards that's already above that price that I found out 3 or 4 days ago when I was making this list. Very, very cool card. The popularity is not super, super high yet, but it has enough of a market and enough potential for an additional market from the younger generation that $1 is just a crazy price for me. Going into number 29, we have the Chase card from Evolving Skies, the number 1 card from Evolving Skies, Vaporeon V Max, $169. I think this is actually the most expensive card on this entire list. The reason why this card made it onto the list, even though it was so expensive, the artwork is amazing. One of the best looking cards ever. I can't think of 10 cards that look better than this specific card ever, to be honest. It just looks so, so good. This is a very playable card as well. I think that's actually holding up a lot of the value as well. This card is very, very playable. The Dark Signal, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. That is basically a supporter card that you can just use. You could technically, if you get 4 of these, you could use it 4 times in one turn, which you probably wouldn't want to do, but just it's just there's so many possibilities with using that Dark Signal ability, and this is the highest rarity, the best looking version of this card. I think that once this actually rotates out of standard, I think there's going to be a slight, ever so slight drop in price just because of the standard rotation, because I think it is being propped up a little bit by the not just the collector's market, but by the players who want this awesome card in their decks, just to be cool, I guess. I think this card long-term has the highest potential of any Evolving Skies card. If this card went over $300 in the next 5 years, I wouldn't be surprised. The overall expected value of Evolving Skies boxes is so high that the booster boxes are just going to go up, and the sealed product is becoming more valuable over time. This being the best card in the set, debatable between this and the Rayquaza. I personally think this is the better of the two. Just really, really good long term if you want to park your money in something and not worry about it, and also have a really cool card to look at. This would definitely be the one to grab. 10% increase on this card is $20. 10% increase on this Rillaboom V, for instance, is a dime, 10 cents. So think about it that way. But you also have to consider the downside. If you lose 20% on this card, that's $50 versus 20 cents versus this downside risk. You have to consider all of those factors whenever you're buying certain types of cards. Going into number 28, we have another amazing rare. This is my personal favorite amazing rare out of the entire bunch. I like this card more than I like the Rayquaza, the Jirachi. I like it more than every other one of the amazing rares. It just looks so good. I'm not the biggest fan of Kyogre, but I did grow up playing Ruby and Sapphire, so that could make me a little bit biased. This is a really cool card. I really like it. It looks very, very good in person. It's sitting at 90 cents. It's under $1. There's just no chance that these amazing rare cards are going to stay under $1 indefinitely. Overall value score, 25 out of 25. I see zero downside risk in this. You could probably buy these for 90 cents off of TCG Player and probably sell them for $2 or $3 on eBay without much effort. I'm going to be honest about that. Overall artwork, beautiful card, 24 to 25, one of my favorite Amazing Rare, just because of the colors, just looks so good. Overall popularity is kind of low. There's not a lot of excitement about the Amazing Rares anymore, mainly because so many of them are graded. And as I mentioned before, a lot of people, they only chase the high-end, super crazy, returns. And they're like, well, if I can't, 10x my money by grading this card, then it's not worth my time. When in reality, this is an amazing card. It's an amazing rare. Sorry, I find that funny. I don't know why. Amazing card. Very, very underappreciated in my opinion. People who chase, the rocket ship to the moon emojis and all that, they just don't appreciate good artwork and good, solid, 5-10% return type cards. And I see this card easily being $9 to $10 5 years from now. 5 years from now, it seems like a very, very long time, but think about what you were doing 5 years ago from today and how much your life has changed. Probably not as much as you might think. Really, really good card. Very, very high upside on this, just like all the other Amazing Rares in my opinion. High upside in the graded field, PSA 10, $10,000, never going to happen. But, PSA 10, $90, could definitely happen. If they ever lower the bulk price down of grading cards back down to $10, I'll probably send in a few of these to get graded. Going into number 27 on our list, we have the chase card, or the big hitter from the Marny Premium Tournament Collection. Apparently this card is actually sitting at $30. I thought it was closer to $25. The price could have come down a little bit since I made this list though. This is going to be an iconic card for the indefinite future. I think that this card is going to be the, very top of the totem pole in the female market, cards. It's a full art Marny card. You can only get it one way out of the premium Marny collection. I just think that this has very high upside, graded upside, PSA 10 copies of this. These probably sell for, you know what? I'm going to check really quick. Because, I do not know what the graded copies of this go for. So let's look. PSA 10 Marny Premium Collection card. Let's see what we get here. Let's see what we get. Okay. So, like I mentioned before, very, very high-end graded value. Apparently, population 10, people are asking $1,000. How crazy is that? 9.5, they're asking $300. Let's go down to the sold. Okay, so sold. This 9 went for $100, which is still, if you're grading cards at $10, which I know you cannot do that right now, and you buy the premium tournament collection for $40, that's you could double your money if you get the card at retail cost plus everything else on the inside. Even the regular, there's just not a lot of these. So PSA 9s are at like $100. PSA 10 sold for about $300. That's such a crazy profit margin. Even if you graded this card at $100 right now, look at that profit margin. It's crazy. All right, let's get back to the list. Number 27 on our list, Marny Card. I think I have 8 copies of this card, and they're all from the tournament collection boxes. I think the tournament collection box is a terrible sealed product. Personally, I don't think it looks good enough to display, so I ended up opening up all of mine. Going into the next card, we have at number 26, we have the General Mills Cereal Pack Pikachu card. 40 cents, guys. 40 cents for this iconic Sword and Shield number 39 Pikachu card. There's no way that this card is going to stay at 40 cents. Pikachu is too popular for Pokemon. Those General Mills packs, I don't know if you guys remember back when these came out, but people were buying boxes of these cereal boxes. They were buying cases of the boxes. Like, there were so many people just loading up their entire cart trying to get all of these packs out of these cereal boxes. I think the cereal boxes were like $3.80 to $4, and the packs are selling for like $10. So you can see kind of the profit margin there. Galarian Ponyta is definitely the chase of the General Mills packs. I think that one's sitting at like $5-6 still. But this Pikachu card is a close second. I think this is a better card than the Galarian Ponyta and has a much, much brighter future, just because it has more of a market that would be interested in collecting it. 40 cents, no downside risk. If this went to 0, you would still have a cool card. I've spent 40 cents on way worse things in my life. 25 out of 25 on the value, 24 out of 25 on the artwork. The holographic pattern on this is amazing. It looks so, so good. Overall popularity is kind of low. I don't believe as many people bought these General Mills packs as it might seem. Like I mentioned before, people were buying cases of these. I think there's 8 boxes of cereal per case, and people were buying all of them. So people didn't really get the chance to experience opening these packs. But doesn't mean they're not going to want this card once they figure out what it is. Pikachu card collectors, overall cool card collectors. This is one of the really, really good looking cards of 2021. Overall score 91 out of 100, coming in at number 26 on our list. The final card on our list is the Copycat Full Art Trainer card. Look who is on that card. You have Leon, you have Marny, you have Rose, and it's sitting at $2. This TCG player price, I bought like 16 copies of this card at $2. And the only reason I bought it is because it made this list, because I just thought it was such a cool card. When I actually went to go research it a little bit more to see where, would end up on this list, I was like, this card is $2? That is absolutely insane. So I bought 16 copies total of this. I have $32 total invested in this Copycat card but I just think it's so cool. It has the most iconic trainers from this generation of Sword and Shield. Really good artwork. Cards with multiple trainer cards on it always do really, really well. I don't know what else to say. I cannot believe that this card is $2. I know that it doesn't have a good ability. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw a card for each card in your opponent's hand. It's just not played. It's not a playable card, but the overall appeal of this card is definitely in its artwork. Long term, if this card isn't a $8 to $10 card, I would be very, very surprised. But that does conclude number 74 through 25 on our top 100 list. Let me know what you guys think of this list. Does this list make you guys want to buy some of these cards? Come on, be honest. Because I know when I was making this list, I really ended up buying a bunch of these cards on this list because the value was just so high. Copycat, the Charmander, the Zashian card, Rillaboom V, a lot of those good value cards. I ended up buying a lot of them because of me making this list. Amazing rares, don't get me started on how many of those I have. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I do appreciate you checking out this video. I'll leave a link to the next set of cards in this list. It would be numbers... I'll leave a link down below to the 75 through 100 listing, and also I'll leave a link to the actual playlist that has all 4 videos in it once they've all 4 released. I do appreciate you checking out this video though, and I'll see you in the next one.